You're listening to the Kilcullen Diary Podcasts, stories in sound from a village grown bigger.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
I'm old enough to remember when President John F. Kennedy said, "We choose to go to the moon," in September 1962. From the time I was a boy, I was a science and space nerd, so in my just finished school, late teens, that registered. Just a month later, I stayed up late on a Sunday night to listen to Kennedy's speech on the radio, warning Russia not to continue putting missiles into Cuba. That was the night I shared the dread of the world that the nuclear war nightmare we had grown up with was on the point of reality. I remember clearly his presidential visit to Ireland the following June, immediately from his Ich bin ein Berliner speech at the Berlin Wall. The coverage of the visit by the young RTE television service was excellent for its time, and we all shared in the homecoming of one of our own who had gone as far as you can in the USA. I recall vividly 5 months later, as a first-year UCD science student, walking across O'Connell Bridge in Dublin in the city's atmosphere of disbelief as the evening paper's street placards announced his assassination. A recent day trip to the Kennedy Homestead in Dunganstown, County Wexford, and afterwards a walk around the John F. Kennedy Memorial Park and Arboretum brought each of these memories back into sharp focus. In the 58 years since JFK had visited his relative Mary Ryan there and accepted the traditional cup of tea, I had never gone to the homestead. I was at the Arboretum in the mid-80s when it was still just young trees. Now there are over 120,000 of them, matured and myriad, representing specimens from many parts of the world. Of the home that JFK's great-grandfather Patrick left in 1848, only an annex remains. And it's part of the display of Kennedy heritage that you can visit after going through the modern visitor centre opened in 2017 by Caroline Kennedy and then Taoiseach Enda Kenny. In that centre, and it's a tidy, comfortable space, you'll find a unique collection of memorabilia, much of it courtesy of the Kennedy Library archival collection in JFK's native Boston. Guides will take you through the stories of the early generations. Patrick, the skilled cooper who went to America to marry his Dunganstown sweetheart, Bridget Murphy. She is described as the unsung hero of what was to become a powerful dynasty. After her husband's untimely death, she worked hard to raise their 5 children and helped to get her youngest son, PJ, get started in business and banking. His son, Joe Kennedy Sr., subsequently built his fortune in banking and stock trading, as well as investing successfully in the growing film industry in Hollywood. And then his second son, John, went on to reach the ultimate American political position. It's all there in the Kennedy homestead, and in the Arboretum some 15 minutes away there are further exhibits marking the things that happened during John Fitzgerald Kennedy's short and abruptly terminated presidency of a nation by which we all thought world peace would be achieved and protected, and from where the dreams of all mankind would become realities. But it's still an imperfect world, and the people we hold as heroes had and have their own imperfections. We're still struggling as a planet to survive. So sometimes it's good to go back to the simple places where personal dreams began and were forged into realities through generations of people with their own challenges and flaws, and remind us that great trees do indeed from little seeds grow. We need to remember the trees. I'm Brian Byrne. This is Kilcullen Diary. Thank you for listening.